What's up, everybody? You know who this is. This is AJ Copeland, and this is Topics to Go. Today, my topic is, how deep is your love? Now, I did another video speaking and talking about unconditional love, but today it is something different, because today I want to talk about how much are you willing to sacrifice for the person that you say you love. Are you willing to sacrifice sex, money? Are you willing to sacrifice situations, circumstances in the area of forgiveness? Now, that doesn't mean that you need to allow people to disrespect you or abuse you or hurt you in any way. But what I'm saying is, when I'm talking about sacrificing, is that how much selfishness are you willing to let go and give up? Because a lot of times when people have issues and problems in relationships, it has more to do with selfishness than anything else. I noticed today that a lot of people are caught up and involved in such thing as polyamorous and open relationships. Many people feel like these approaches make their relationships better. In fact, a lot of believe that it adds a little spice to their circumstance and adds more love, or increases or build the love that you have for an individual if you spice it up a little bit and add a couple of people into your relationship. I have a mixed feelings about that. I kind of like, I kind of have mixed feelings about it emotionally and what have you. And I've addressed that. I've actually had to deal with that and have been faced with that. But at the end of the day, you got to know, if you make certain decisions like that, where will you end up? Are you willing to sacrifice the relationship for a selfish gain, such as sex or money or friendship? What are you willing to sacrifice for the relationship? And are you willing to sacrifice certain things to give up or let go of the relationship? Sacrifices, originated from the Old Testament Bible of sacrificing various animals for worship and acknowledging and worshiping God. It's giving your best. It's giving all that you truly not really want to give, but you give it anyway. Sacrificing is those selfish things that you want to hold on to and don't want to let go. The reason why a lot of people are having relationship problems is that they're not really truly willing to sacrifice anything. And the main thing they're not willing to sacrifice is their selfishness. What they want, what they feel they should have, their gain, their desires. They're not really considering the other person in the area of sacrificial, because it's all about themselves. But are you willing to sacrifice that for the person that you say you love? It's a hard question to answer, I know. Because, it depends on the situation of the relationship. Case in point, if you are involved with somebody younger and you're older, it may be very difficult for a younger person to make certain sacrifices because they haven't yet lived long enough to know what that means. But for someone that's older, it's easier for them to make certain sacrifices. For in situations like that, you have to sit down and have a conversation and come to some type of decision on what the best approach is for your relationship. Another scenario is individuals that have been hurt very badly, whether it be by abuse or bad relationships through breakups and makes-ups and different things like that, and women that have had children by men that just abandon them for no reason at all, and they get with this individual, somewhat of a good person, but they like to chase other women. They like to have sex with other women and step outside of the relationship or the marriage. The woman has to ask herself the question, is she willing to sacrifice the goodness that that person does to allow him the opportunity to step out and sleep with other women? And then the fact is it worth it? I mean, does it affect you emotionally, eternally? Are you going through, moments of sleepless nights? Are you being stressed because you know your significant other's cheating on you and stepping out on you? But they're so damn good, you think to yourself. They do so damn much for me. They pay the bills. They make sure that me and the kids are taken care of. So I'm going to let them go head on and cheat. But at the end of the day, who's gaining and who's losing in that situation? And who's truly making the sacrifice? Is that individual making the sacrifice because they're doing all the good things for you? Or are you making the sacrifice because you're letting them do it? In other words, you're letting them step out. Who's making a true sacrifice? Who's really sacrificing their selfish ways and their own desires? You see, that's really what I believe deep love is all about. It's all about the sacrifice. What are you willing to give up or gain for an individual that you say you love? Because love is more than words. You don't necessarily have to tell a person every day, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's really how you treat that person. It's about respect. It's how you give, how you receive, how you take, how you sacrifice. That's love. People say every day and all day, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but they don't mean it. And they don't mean it because their actions don't follow up with what they say. When you love a person, you don't want to hurt them. It bothers you to hurt them. It makes you feel guilty. And so there's certain things you would not do because you love them so much you don't want to hurt them. Now, in some situations, you may have to part ways because you love them so much you don't want to hurt them, even though it's still going to hurt them even when you part ways. Because they haven't done anything to cause the relationship to part ways. It's all about what you want. It's about your selfishness. It's the reason why the relationship has to end. It's because of what you want. And that's not bad, neither is it good. But those are the things that people do. And some people may look at that as a sacrifice. Well, I'm going to sacrifice my relationship so I can do what the hell I want to do. And that's their prerogative. They have that right to do that. But don't think for a moment that you're not going to hurt the one you say you don't want to hurt. Because even in that decision, you have hurt them deeply. So I got to ask you all a question. How deep is your love? I'm Andrew J. Copeland, as in A.J. Copeland. And this was Topics to Go. And during your free time, always remember, catch a topic or two. Later.